Well, blessed Friday to you as we come with your daily encouragement, and we are at 1 Peter 4, verse 4. And where it says, they are surprised that you no longer join them in the same excesses of dissipation, and so they blaspheme. Excesses of dissipation. Now that's an interesting word, isn't it? It has in other translations that they are part and is blaspheme, but not the part of he who is glorified. What does all that mean? Dissipation simply is another word for drunkenness, being caught up in the things of the world. And a lot of times, the things of the world, while they do have breakthroughs of wisdom, and many of us have experienced, whether without Jesus or not, the breakthroughs of love, but there's an end to them. Those breakthroughs of wisdom only come so far as we realize that people are sinners and do not desire wisdom all the time. We realize love sometimes can have some selfish parts of it that isn't true love, agape love that we are given in God. And so we get disappointed by relationships. As many as love songs are on the radio, as many as are breakup songs about when the love that we thought was true turned out to be false. But there still is a true love. And you see, the way that other people deal with those times of drunkenness, those times of disappointment and blasphemy, thinking that there is no love in this world. See, that's to blaspheme God, God who is love. To think that there is no desires in this world that are true. And so they think the solution is just to escape through alcohol, reveling, and partying. And so they are surprised that you no longer join them in the same excesses. And they can be other goods or gods of this world. Maybe it's community events, maybe it's sports, maybe it's other activities, building businesses, gaining money, providing jobs for people, and all the other things that are good things of this world. All of them are. Maybe they're simply advocating for people's rights and other things. Those are good things. All of them good. But they're secondary to God. And that is the main point that Peter is making. That's the main point of Scripture. We can join others in pursuing the good, the needs of this world, justices, fighting against injustice, building businesses that work for all people. I mean, when I go to the gas station, I don't think about whether the person's a Christian or not that is providing the gas. Or when I get food or other things, if they're a good food source. Or maybe you have a relationship with a farmer. Your relationship is not based on all your agreements about all things of life. They're based on the good. But what we're reminded in this passage is that all those good things will come to an end. But there's one good, or God, G-O-D, that will not come to an end. And he has sent his Son to suffer and invites us to join in that suffering, to put away the things of the world, and yes, to be through with sin and to be pointed towards the things that are godly. Now, we just had an election. We can all speculate about who we thought was the right or wrong choice and all till we're blue in the face. But you see, elections come and go. Why? Because candidates come and go. No matter how much you say rah rah for the person, you might forget it. In fact, a popular comedy show, Saturday Night Live, just had a very funny episode where they were talking and presented a candidate for vice president. His name was Tim Kaine, and no one could remember his name, even though they thought he was second in line to being president and how important he was, and that we should think about who the vice and the president and all the other things are. And of course, the point of it was what we once thought was most important, as we go through life, will find out to be of secondary importance and third importance and whatever importance. So we're already probably starting to experience that right now as everything led up to an election. And now that the election's over, there's this pause of, well, now I got to figure out what real life is about. Well, my friends, it starts with the scripture putting God, as your greatest good. I like to play with that word because sometimes English words don't always work together for good, but this one does. Because we have many good opportunities that will distract us. See, the bad opportunities are easy because we can go, that's not good. It's choosing between the goods that I think is always the most difficult things to make. And that's why we are called to sometimes pause, to pray, and to say, God, I have a few very interesting opportunities that seem good. Show me which one is better. Show me which one is putting you at the head rather than me. And that's why people will be surprised at our choices, because they won't necessarily be the things of the world. Sometimes those choices, many times, will lead to suffering in the flesh, sacrifices that might need greater need for us. But that's because we're not putting our desires, our wisdom ahead of God, who wants to be the head of our life. God bless you today. We trust that these continue to be words of encouragement. Take care. God bless. Join us on Sunday for worship. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.